Hello, happy Wednesday. I'm glad you're here. My name is Carmen. I am a myofunctional therapist as well as a myofunctional educator. Many of you guys already know that this year my team and I decided that we were really going to dive into educating and engaging with you guys, my audience. So we're really working hard on that. So with that said, my new blog came out this morning and it was about how to afford myofunctional therapy. This can be a real big hurdle for many people because they're new to learning what it is and they're trying to figure out how they're going to afford it. So it's a pain point for a lot of people. So today I'm going to talk about that. We're going to talk about different programs that I offer to kind of alleviate some of the stress involved with this. And then we will talk about my first ever Frenectomy Camp. So I'm pretty excited about that. So one of the first things that I want to touch on is I get asked a lot, what if I can't afford to do much? So something is certainly better than nothing when it comes to myofunctional therapy. So understanding why you have needs, that's really important. But one of the things that I tell people is don't be afraid to save the money to do things correctly. So a lot of people, they find out that they might have impairment or they find out they may have a tongue tie and they just want to go bonkers and just get it taken care of now, especially when they think that they're going to get some relief. So a lot of people have, upper body tension, they have headaches, that kind of stuff. And so people find out that if they're going to get some relief in these areas, they just want to go gangbusters and get it done. I don't want you to do that. I want you to take the time, figure out why you need this, what your impairment is, and then save the money so that you can do things properly or the best that you can do. All right, so with that said, let's talk about the different programs that I offer. So obviously my favorite is what I call traditional therapy. And that is me meeting with my clients just like this. So I meet with everybody online. And the reason that I do that is because I see people all over the world. So I have people probably in every time zone. And it allows me to bring this important therapy to people who otherwise wouldn't be able to have access to it. So that's why I do it this way. So when I talk about my traditional therapy, it's traditional in the sense that we meet, I do all of the teaching live one-on-one, just like this. So when we meet for our sessions, we talk about challenges, if there were questions that you had, and then I have you do skills assessment so that I am able to evaluate how you're doing things, make sure that you're doing it correctly. Then I teach you the next exercises, and then I give you a time frame. Some of those exercises are mastery exercises, so I want you to bring you have to bring an A game. You got to do a good job. That time frame sometimes is every week, sometimes it's every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks possibly, especially for somebody who has snoring or sleep apnea. So it's not a weekly thing, and a lot of people think that that is. But that is what I call traditional therapy. We're together for usually 25 to 30 minutes, no more than that, and it varies. And those sessions, the number of sessions, that also varies on your needs. So if I have somebody who has very straightforward myofunctional needs, maybe they have a tongue tie, but they don't have a lot of other concerns, those people are probably going to be 8 sessions. If somebody has snoring sleep apnea concerns, those are my hardest clients. So they're very likely going to be 12 sessions or potentially what I call comprehensive therapy, and that can be up to a year. So it just depends. Next, I have what I call a hybrid, and this program was developed because I had so many people who wanted a little bit of that live one-on-one component. It certainly is very important, but they also needed to save money. So with the Myo Hybrid program, I do the same. I do 8 sessions, and this is typically focused around somebody who is needing to have a frenectomy done. And it's not, so I said 8 sessions, so it's not going to be something that I recommend for those clients who have snoring or sleep apnea concerns, because those people have higher needs. So they're more advanced, and it's really just not a great option for them. So for somebody who's pretty straightforward and easy, they can do a hybrid, which means we're only going to meet for half the amount of time. So we still meet on that, whatever that recommended interval is, but the time is going to be 15 minutes instead of 30 minutes. And so the difference here is people who do the Myo hybrid, they learn the exercises via video instruction. So I teach probably, I don't know, 100, 120 different exercises. And so my most favorite ones that I use, like I don't teach all of those to everybody all the time. Gosh, that would be way too much. But I have those to choose from if I need to. But for somebody who's doing the hybrid program, they are going to meet with me. We're going to talk about questions, concerns. Did they have any challenges from last time? And then their exercises, they're going to learn from those videos. Now, I do skills assessments to make sure that they're doing them right. They can always reach out to me. It's not like I'm non-existent. We just don't have as long as this of a session, and therefore that price can be a lot more affordable. So that's Myo hybrid. Then really, if we have exhausted all options, then I do have a 100% video-based program called Myo to Go. And I have people all over the world that do this program because maybe money is a concern, maybe time is a concern. I have world travelers, I have missionaries, lots of different people take this program. The only downside with doing the Myo to Go program is basically once you decide that's what you want to do, I give everything to you. You get an entire, framework, step-by-step process, but you're on your own. And so you don't have any live check-ins with me. You always can have the option to do that, but it's not included in the price of your plan. And that program is very affordable, but again, it doesn't include any live time with me. So that one, it's great if that's the only thing that you can do. Now, some people will come to me and they'll say, okay, tell me exactly what you think I should do. And I'm always going to say that my favorite will be traditional therapy because it allows me to work one-on-one with you and be able to give you feedback as you go. So that's my favorite, but it's also the most expensive. So, okay, so let's talk about Frenectomy Camp. So I don't know. I'm super excited about these. We have 3 camps, so I have some notes here that I'm going to look at. These camps are my first stab at group therapy. So again, trying to make this affordable for people who otherwise couldn't afford it. Is it for everybody? Probably not. Those people who have time and money, big deal. They can do regular therapy, and it's not a problem for them. So the Frenectomy Camp, those people that we are looking to help are the people who otherwise wouldn't do therapy, who otherwise wouldn't be able to improve their health, improve their myofunctional impairment. So those are the people that we're looking for. So we're going to do this in a group therapy type of setting because if I do therapy with many people, then I can make that much more affordable for the people in the camp. So we've set up 3 camps. 2 of them are only 3 session, which you probably already know this is not ideal at all, but it's going to at least deal with the frenectomy. So those 3 session camps only deal with that frenectomy. So we do frenectomy prep. So you'll have the first session a month before your frenectomy. Then ideally within 48 hours for session 2, and then session 3 will be 2 weeks later. So that's how we're going to set up the 3 sessions. And really, if you're planning a frenectomy, then you want to plan around that. And these camps will probably, like we have one that starts February 20th, and then we have one that starts March 6th. So we're going to see how these go. If they're popular and they fill up and I'm able to bring value to you and be helpful to you guys, then we'll continue doing them. And then we'll probably have one that starts probably every other month or something like that so that we can help a lot of people. Now, how that group therapy is going to be facilitated is in a private Facebook group. So I will actually be teaching the therapy just like I would be teaching somebody one-on-one, but I'll be doing it just like this, like a Facebook Live. So people who are participating, they can either do it live or they can do it with the replay. So that's how that's going to be handled. Now, the other camp is Basic Myo, and that is 8 sessions. And so really what that one is for is to really take you through the basic myofunctional therapy. So this is far better than a 3-session camp by far. This is going to take you through all of the steps, and we'll get it through swallowing. This is not ideal for somebody with snoring and sleep apnea concerns, but my goal is at some point then we will also offer that additional camp as well. But even if somebody has snoring and sleep apnea concerns, they're totally going to start with the basic 8 sessions. So it's a great place to start. We're going to see how it goes. If you have questions, you can always look back to the January 16th post. I made a post. All of the dates are chosen, the time, all of that stuff. Like I said, if it doesn't work for you, then you can catch the instant replay. So only the people who are in the camp and have paid for the camp will be invited into that private Facebook group. Let me see here. The 3-session, it looks like a 3-session Frenectomy Camp is $149, and then an 8-session is $337.50. So I believe those are all 75% off of what my regular rates are. So pretty significant there. And we're going to just see how it goes. So we have only set up these 3, and then we'll see. Okay, well, I think I've pretty much touched on that, all the stuff about affording myofunctional therapy. I think the most important thing is to just make sure you get your ducks in a row, make sure you understand myofunctional therapy, why you needed all of that stuff before feeling like you have to move on. Really, unless you have a severe tongue tie, it's not going to hurt you to wait a little bit to get your ducks in a row to make sure you're doing it right, okay? Next week, we are going to be talking about Myofunctional Therapy 101. So I will be talking about, of course, what it is, and then things to consider, and then questions to ask yourself when considering doing myofunctional therapy, when considering getting a frenectomy, all of that stuff. So that's what we'll be talking about next week. I hope this was helpful for you, and I hope more than anything that you find or understand the importance of doing something rather than nothing. So find what works for you, whether it's with me or somebody else. I'm sure a lot of other therapists have different programs like I do. With that said, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, or have no idea if you have myofunctional impairment or a tongue tie or anything like that, then you probably could use my screening tool that I offer. You can get that at the bottom of any one of my blogs, and that would be myofunctionaltherapy4u.com, and that's the number 4, the letter u.com/blog. And then you can do that and kind of get an idea, and then you can go from there. So that'll give you some direction. It is a screening tool that many of my partners use to screen people. With that said, I will let you go. Have a beautiful Wednesday, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.